Well, we'll be back from the break, and it's exactly 1 minute past 8, and of course, still driving your business in here. Of course, that is with the relevant information, and of course, the latest in terms of the business-related matters. Something very vital that is for your business decision making, and also other related important aspects in terms of career, and so many others that are very vital still to your growth and development. That is as a person. And of course, like I always say, it's very important to start today very inspired, and of course, getting to have that hope and faith to make sure that you perceive, that you are resilient when it comes to business productivity. But of course, before we get into that, don't forget Zabu. We just made your trading experience much more easy. *292# is the magic code, as will be available with quite lots of options. You can choose to buy government bonds and securities for as little as 15,000. Of course, 15,000 being the minimum, but you can trade more than that. No more paperwork, no more hassle. The markets open at 8:15 and they close at 8:15 a.m. and they close at 3:15 p.m. Sorry, that is in the evening East African time, Monday to Friday, except on the weekends when the markets are not in operation. But of course, the rest of the days you can capitalize as much as you can and make a massive profits. There is no more excuses why you shouldn't own government bonds. Zabu just made an opportunity available, and this can be done at the comfort of your home, at the comfort of any place, any region you're located in the country. Zabu, my money, my future. That is all Texas, Africa. Do something new. Now, getting straight into in here, and of course, this is the very time where we dwell into the business tips and quotes. Something very vital, like I said, because these are quotes that were written out of people's experiences, and majority actually of the people that wrote those particular quotes were regarding to the experience they personally went through. But of course, I'm not saying you should also go through that. We all have different journeys when it comes to business. My destiny is not the same as your destiny, but however, you can just pick a leaf from what made me succeed. Probably it could also help you somewhere. But of course, that's why sometimes we get frustrated at the end of the day, whereby you do things because the entrepreneur you embrace did this, and you're doing it, and it's not working out. But probably, maybe, for you, you thought it's going to be your overall basis, your overall, can I say, foundation to build your business doctrine, to succeed in a certain way. Well, but maybe you didn't know that actually the lifestyle you emulated was just to help you get into a certain level of your life, but not entirely. Of course, you'll have to also have your own experience and write your own quotes about life, because we are all diverse, and the human spirit is always, very, very infinite when it comes to discovery and how best to discover ways and, some sort of shortcuts to make sure that life is actually not so hard as such. Well, now this is the time where we head into our business tips and quotes. Of course, get inspired as we get ready to review the business tip of the day. Now, the business tip of the day says that user experience is everything. It always, and of course, has some sort of, it's undervalued when it's underestimated. But of course, if you don't know how user-centered people, of course, that is something that we need to get to understand. Probably, if we can take a further look into this, we see that user experience is everything. It's always been, but it's undervalued and underinvested in. If you don't know user-centered design, study it. Hire people who know it. Obsess over it. Live and breathe it. Get your whole company on board. That is something very important. User experience. What is it that we pick about this? When we review this very quote, you get to realize that away from the overall aspect of user experience, let's take a look at this whole aspect of getting to know something hiring people that know something, that are really very experienced about something. And of course, now taking a look still in here, it still brings us back to the aspect of experience, that you need to really have experience regarding every matter that you're pursuing. That extinct knowledge about something, that is something that will be very vital. That is for your growth and development as a person. And of course, when you hire the people, the right people, let me say that are supposed to execute the different duties, that are supposed to do what they ought to do, definitely that is going to make your company outstand, of course, so many other companies, and prosperity will be inevitable. User experience is everything. It has always been. It's undervalued and reinvested in, but of course, if you don't know, of course, user-centered design, study it. Hire people, He goes ahead still further in here and says, if you don't know user-centered design, study it, hire people who know it. Of course, that's some sort of an allegory from the first aspect. Literally, it's trying to drive you into experience and knowing what to do. What is the right thing to do? What are the right people to execute that? Now that makes it quite a viable statement in a way of how we view life and so many other related factors regarding that. Have experience about what you're doing. That is going to be very vital when it comes to success, and also when it comes to employing the people that you work with. Of course, they may not have experience in action, but somebody can have experience in knowledge. And that is with the various exposure of the different aspects of life, and of course somebody having quite excessive knowledge about something, that is also very vital. Well, let's wind this up as we take a look at the business word of the day. Now, of course, still looking in here, we see that the business quote of the day today says that your most unhappy customers are your greatest source of learning. Now, of course, this is something, taking a look at the literal sense, in most cases, when we have businesses, when I start up something, and I feel like when I put it out on the first try of the market, and probably I get criticisms, and people are not connecting to my product. In so many cases, under normal circumstances, I feel a little bit uncomfortable, and chances are high I might feel like I want to give up on what I'm doing, but what I'm pursuing. But literally, what this quote is trying to say, because it's written by a billionaire, that is Bill Gates, of course, one of the most rich personnel when it comes to world of business. It tries to tell you that it's a learning experience from your customers. You need to get the criticisms, but it matters how you take in them. Your most unhappy customers are your greatest source of learning. And once you get to know their grievances and you get to know how you can act upon them, of course, that is going to make life much more easy for you and, of course, your business and your generations to come. Because of the criticisms that came along your very best customers.